Good afternoon and welcome to the SportWrap Show. I'm your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, bringing you another SportWrap Show. And now let's look at the back page of the Namibian Sun. As you can see there, no official sponsor for the NFPL. That story will come in detail. We also look at, that's the front page of the SportWrap. As you can see, pride and honor, Shikongo's Tokyo Paralympics heroics. And now for your story in detail. Namibia Football Association League Director Mabos Free says the current infighting between the Namibia football leaders is making it difficult for sponsors to come on board. Freeze, who is tasked to run the NFA leagues, including the inaugural Namibia Premier Football League, has revealed that the new league has not secured a sponsor yet. Football in the country is set to return after once again halted by the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, which saw sport being prohibited. The leagues, which are currently in the transitional season, are being funded by the Football Association. The NFA is believed to have already spent millions to keep the transitional leagues active. Our beautiful brand of football is being tarnished by the negativity around it, and this is making it very difficult to attract sponsors. We are, however, working overtime to ensure that we get sponsors on board, Free said. My word of advice is to the leaders is that they must settle their differences and shy away from the negative publicity in order to restore the trust of corporate Namibia. And on to your next story. Namibia Paralympic silver medalist Ananias Shikongo hopes that people will realize how important the global event is after he scooped his fourth medal at Tokyo Paralympics. I'm really happy with what we did today. This silver medal belongs to Namibia and Paralympian athletes. This is the role that we are playing in the country to show that Paralympics is important in the country, Shikongo told his coach Michael Hamkwaya in a video interview. Namibia Paralympics Committee Secretary General Michael Hamkwaya heaped praise on Shikongo for his silver medal heroics. Descarrega Puigdef of Spain took gold, while Guiter Makunda of France took bronze, with Shikongo finishing second with 51.74 seconds. Hamkwaya said Shikongo has dedicated his life to the country against all odds. They always represent the country with pride and honor, and we hope that corporate Namibia will come on board and sponsor these athletes who never disappoint, he said. And on to your next story. Namibia's Eagles took a 1-0 lead in the first of 4 Castle Light T20 cricket matches against the visiting Titans from Pretoria on Sunday. The Gauteng franchise, led by Proteas Test captain Dean Elgar, were bowled out for an embarrassing total 43 runs by the Namibian spin bowling attack led by Picky Jafrans. We will go for a short break, and after the break, I'll bring you the Paralympic segment, proudly sponsored, that's by Namdia, where we will engage with a Paralympian powerlifter, that's Ruben Sorosep. Welcome back. Now, Ruben Sorosep is not new to Paralympics. He's been around for many years. He has been around for many years. We have that interview coming up. Born in Omaruru, 1979, Ruben Sorosep didn't allow his disability to become the obstacle in his life, competing in top powerlifting events worldwide. He was voted Disabled Sportsman of the Year in 2014 after winning gold medals at the Nedbank South Africa Disabled Championships. And this is what Sorosep had to say. Good day, Ruben. Good day, Ruben.
Good day, sir.
Welcome to the SportWrap show. You at the coast, I understand, and we are celebrating Paralympian Ananias Shikongo as well as the rest of Namibian athletes that are competing at the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics at the moment. A silver medal in the back, that's a T40 400 meters from
Yes.
Ananias Shikongo. As a Paralympian yourself, a power lifter, tell me, how do you feel? What do you make of this victory by Ananias Congo?
Uh, Ananias is a good athlete, as I know him, and he actually did good, and I'm actually proud of him, and uh, and he can also do better than that.
Okay, I can hear you there. Good day, Ruben. Good day, Ruben.
Good day, sir.
Welcome to the SportWrap show. You at the coast, I understand, and we are celebrating Paralympian Ananias Shikongo as well as the rest of Namibian athletes that are competing at the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics at the moment. A silver medal in the back, that's a T40 400 meters from
Yes.
Ananias Shikongo. As a Paralympian yourself, a power lifter, tell me, how do you feel? What do you make of this victory by Ananias Congo?
Uh, Ananias is a good athlete, as I know him, and he actually did good, and I'm actually proud of him, and and he can also do better than that.
Okay, I can hear you there. Oh, we look at Ananias as a person and as an athlete, and we look at the Paralympics in general. There has been a lot of outcries that Paralympics doesn't get the support it needs from the general public, from corporate Namibia, and all that. Um, we understand that even someone had to be flown out from Afghanistan, two athletes, just to compete at the Paralympics. We know the situation in Kabul. They have to be flown out of the airport. So I just want to hear from you the importance of these games and what it means to a Paralympian.
I cannot hear you clear. Can you? It's a little bit
Yes,
noisy. Can you repeat yourself?
I was saying that recently we just saw that athletes were airlifted or lifted out of Kabul Paralympics.
Yeah.
You know that the situation in Kabul, of course, with American troops withdrawing from Kabul, and there were two athletes
Yeah.
that had to be airlifted out of Afghanistan to participate in this competition, and it was emotional scenes there. Of course, there has been outcries that Paralympics doesn't get the support it needs from the community and from corporate Namibia. Looking at those scenes, knowing those scenes, I just wanted to hear from you as a Paralympian yourself. What does it mean? What does Paralympics mean to you? What does this game means to a Paralympian?
Yeah. Paralympics games means a lot to us, especially me. I've been an athlete for over close to 20 years, and the support from community, and it's not that 100% when it comes to some of us doing different sports. Like, let me just make an example. Ananias is a runner,
Mm-hmm,
and me, I'm a weightlifter.
mm-hmm,
So there, the support lacks a lot because what I think of what I have seen is that more support goes only to the athlete running
mm-hmm,
than the athlete, all the other sports goes into Paralympics. So the
mm-hmm.
most focus is on athlete running currently, and that's why also some of us have fallen out a little bit because of lack of support.
Okay, you mentioned a lack of support, and there has been outcries that this lack of support has actually been throughout the whole entire Paralympics fraternity, struggling to get sponsors, even with the athletes. Although you mentioned there that they do get a little bit of help more than the other codes, but still,
Yeah.
Paralympics is one of the stepchildren of sports in terms of funding and all that. What would your word of advice be to those in corporate positions and the government position to look at Paralympics with a different eye?
Yeah, I would like more people to get involved. They must get involved. They must come see what we are doing. They must come talk to us personally, what we need, and so on. And in most cases, what I'm saying is, especially me, I don't need money. Is what I used to say all these. I don't need money, but I just need support. If, for instance, if I get a muscle torn, I must go see a doctor, or I must use some supplements and stuff like that. Uh, that's going to help a lot, especially if, for some of us athletes who are doing weightlifting.
Okay, I would like to know from you, as a Paralympian, how difficult is it among society to live among society? What has been the biggest challenges living among society and competing at the highest levels?
Yeah, some of us have not been known until we reach Paralympics, and society used to have a negative eye. Like when you see a disabled person walking down the street, what can he do? Is he able to do a certain thing, and so on? Until then, when I started participating, I saw a lot of people, a few people coming around just to tap on my shoulder, like, man, you did well, or you can do better than that, and that's kind of encourages us to actually to do better at what we are doing currently.
Okay, going back to the current Paralympics, we still have a chance with our athletes still competing there. We know that Johannes Nambala, Lahia Ishitile, I think these are people that you know well that are still competing at this event. What would you say? Do you still believe that we can still get more medals?
Yeah, I think Ananias can still scoop another medal. As I have seen him last when we were at the Paralympics in Rio, he did good, and I still believe that he can scoop another medal for Namibia. He's a great athlete.
Okay, what about the other athletes, Lahia and Johannes Nambala? They still have competitions.
Lahia and Nampala also, I have seen him performing. The 400 and so on. Yeah, I think if he just push himself, he will be able to also scoop a medal. And Lahia, I haven't watched Lahia very well, but as I have seen here at the games, she pretty perform well. I think she can. If she work on herself more, she will be able to scoop a medal.
All right. There are so many parents out there having children living with disability, and we have seen that some of these parents hold these kids so that inside the houses so that they cannot be seen by society and all that. They are kept inside their houses and all that. What would your last word of encouragement be before we close to anyone struggling with disability?
To the parents, I would love to tell them not to hide kids. Don't hide your kids with disabilities. Let your kids come out, let them be seen, let them go to education. They might not be good at education, but they might be good at something else. Let them be free. let them play around, let them meet new friends and so on. This is going to help them also as human beings.
Thank you so much. It was a privilege having you on the line.
Thank you so much, sir. It's good receiving your call.
Right.
Ciao, ciao.
That brings
so much to all our viewers for staying tuned, and apologies for the slight inconveniences. Once again, good day to all our viewers and welcome back to another exciting segment of Spotify. We are back with another jam-packed show. We had an amazing weekend with sports field action as the Youth League games continued over the past weekend on Saturday, the 20th of August at the NFA soccer field in Katutura. The tournament was filled with energy and skill as the boys displayed their amazing talents over the games. The Baller boys did not come to play as they displayed their dominance by winning both age group tournaments. Up next, stay tuned for a video as the boys display their amazing skills.
Guys, get to your position. Go! Guys, Marisa, let me go! Where are you going? Nice go back. Let's go, Baman. Continue.
As we could see how the day kicked off on the 28th of August at the NFA soccer field in Katutura. As I mentioned, as the Baller boys took over, we saw some highlights of how the day went about, starting with their training and in-game action. Quite exciting. But in other news, the Capricorn Group has announced on Sunday, the 29th of August 2021, that they have entered into an agreement with Cricket Namibia on becoming the main sponsor of women's cricket, focusing on national women's team and the girls festival tournament and school league to develop girls programs. The event took place at the Wanderers Sports Field, where Cricket Namibia hosted the Capricorn Eagles franchise T20 competition. But then there is it here from us at Spotify. We do hope to have another amazing weekend where we see youthful sports action taking place.
Tell me, baby, do you like the way I move? Come on, get your dance on. We can have as much fun as you can possibly get. We can dance on. Come on, baby, let's get this game on. Let me see it. Let's get this game on. Get it started.
We pay, not for persons under the age of 18. Win and succeed with PST Bet.
So, where were we?
PST Bet. You play, we pay, not for persons under the age of 18.
Hi, yeah, same here. Tell me more about yourself.
Well, I don't even know it. Small town pets and growing up in a vintage lifestyle. It's actually so. There's a lot about something I can tell you, but actually, like.
Can you please change the channel to football?
The lifestyle, the capital.
Milner's corner, and the header was at the near post by Sadio Mane.
Oh wow! It went on and on.
Milner's corner, and the header was at the near post by Sadio Mane.
That's like.
And Bones!
Wow! So my friend actually brought me this car.
The effort is good.
Horrendous goal.
He's not shy of shooting. Oh, great! And you can see why. That is sensational.
Win big with Premier Sports Trading. Visit pstbet.com, create an account, place your bet and win. Get your game going and succeed with PST Bet.
That's the Premier Sports Trading. You can see you play, you play, we pay. Of course, now let us look at what happened over the weekend. Premier Sports Trading, a local sports betting company, on Saturday officially sponsored the Samora League with 20,000 and soccer equipment. Samora League chairman Boma Kanjabanga has lauded Premier Sports Trading for coming on board and supporting grassroots football. Played deep in the informal settlements between Havana and Korean Hub on a gravel soccer field, the league has been barely surviving due to the lack of sponsorship. Many of the players hail from the settlements, living in harsh conditions without water and electricity. Football is, however, a light at the end of the tunnel for many who play on the dusty field, using the game as a distraction from their often hard lives. Some have dreams of becoming top players, hoping that it will elevate them out of the life of poverty. Well, Premier Sports Trading is not only just a company that bets, but also has a social corporate responsibility. And now I'll read for you a very, very, very heartfelt message before we give a call to this lucky winners. This is just a message from a lady that identified a woman that needed to be assisted with Premier Sports Trading corporate responsibility. It was quite an emotional message, and here it is. She nominates, I nominate Elise to be one of the people to be assisted by PST Bet. The reason why I choose Elise is because her story touched me. I met Elise this afternoon outside Trustco's building. I was going on about minding my business when I saw a young lady with a small baby standing outside with a distressed and confused look on her face. Fast forward 5 minutes later, I decided to call her and ask her whether she needed assistance. She walked towards me and she started shivering with no words coming out of her mouth other than her lips shivering. I asked her to calm down. So I asked where she was going, more whether she was waiting for someone. Her response was, I'm looking for a job, but nobody wants to hire me as I have a 4-month-old baby. She further continued to tell me that she was going home since there was no luck for the day. I asked her where home was and she said Okuriangava. Mind you, she didn't even have cab money. I gave her $30 and she said she'd rather go buy milk for the baby and walk home to Okuriangava. So I asked a friend of mine to drive her to the shop and drop her off at home. Her story is so sad and there is more to it. She is really eager to work for the little girl. We'll go for a break, and after the break I will call the lady that nominated her and you would hear on the line. Stay tuned.
Win and succeed with PST Bet.
So, where were we?
PST Bet. You play, we pay. Not for persons under the age of 18.
Have Tashia Amwelo on the line. She is the one who identified the winner. Mr. Shia, can you just briefly tell us how did you come about to meet her and what was the situation like?
Actually, I was just going on about my normal day. I think it was last week. I can't recall the date actually. If it's not Monday, yeah, it was last week Monday. So I was going on about my day. I went to a friend outside because I work at Trustco. So I saw this lady standing and she looked distressed. She looked worried and she had a baby that she was carrying. So something was just not sitting right with me looking at her. At first I didn't want to bother her, but then later I decided to call her to come to me. So I called her, I asked her what was wrong, and then she just started shivering, like her whole body was shivering, her mouth was stuttering, she couldn't talk. And then I asked her where does she live. She said she stays in Okuriangava. So I gave her $30 to take cab, but instead she opted to go buy milk and rather walk to Okuriangava. So at that very moment I realized that no, something is really wrong. So I asked her what was she doing in this part of town. She told me she came to look for a job.
Oh wow.
But then unfortunately nobody could hire her because she had a 4-month-old baby. So I asked her how does she make her way to town every day to look for a job. She told me she walks. So luckily my friend that I went to have a car. So my friend took her to OK to buy milk, extra milk. I think my friend used money from his own pocket to buy for her milk, and rather gave her the $30 to keep, and then he went to drop her off at her place in Kuriangava.
Well, Tashia, thank you. I think you have said enough there. Thank you so much. Well, you, the person that you have nominated has won a 2,000 voucher worth of grocery, and it's all thanks to you. I think, yeah, it is really an important gesture, and that's from Premier Sports Trading. So what can you say to them?
I just want to say I'm really, really glad that they are busy touching lives out there and helping out the people that cannot actually help themselves. May God bless them, and they must keep on doing what they are doing, because I'm sure they did this from the bottom of their hearts.
All right. Would you tell us the madam's name?
Her name is... what was her name again? I only saved her Okuriangava.
All right, no problem. As long as we manage, we'll manage. We'll try to call her and inform her with this lovely surprise, courtesy of PST Bet.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you so much to PST Bet. Really, this means a lot.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay. Bye. We will go for a short break, and after the break, we'll try calling the lucky winner. Like we said, PST Bet is changing lives, and this is a life is about to be changed here. With me in the studio is Joseph, who will be translating just with the language barrier. Of course, he will be informing her as well that she has won a grocery voucher worth 2,000. Could you tell her, Jason?
Hello, Ume. Hello, Tate. Vale, po. Nawa tu. Onawa. O Joseph atukudengera kuja ko programa yo SportWrap. Atukudengera ke tuku danekere kucha wa veno ka voucher ko grocery. Ko kulanda go nini ma ikulia no kuipa felango. O ditengari.
What can she say to PST Bet for?
Otoshi tilenge biko PS Bet for. Eshiwa vena. Hello, Ume. Okay. Hello.
Okay.
Oshike kwa itu na posho meme kuku dani kuku peko ngundana yo akucha o avena ka voucher ko.
What's meme's name?
Dinalo o meme tu. Me Elise. Okay, me Elise o avena tu kudengere ngone tu kufiki mano Yalo if kuna lende na wame. Bye bye.
Yes, they will call you.
Yeah, to put dengue in that way. I took a tell for my noise. Yeah, well, bye bye.
What a kind gesture from PST Bet. Well, Steve Amunyela, Nelly Haita, co-founders of this, we have to laud them for an initiative like this, saving lives and identifying that there are problems among society and there are people that needs to be helped. Well, this social corporate responsibility will continue for the next 12 months, where PST Bet will contribute to the locals anywhere in Namibia, and it's not only in Windhoek. So if you have a problem, you should not hesitate to always contact them. That's at csr@pstbet.com. You will, of course, be able to find out more about that and when you need any assistance. And now for another thing, we'll show you also sponsored by the PST Bet is the English Premier League. I would just like to take you, it was indeed an important weekend here where you have Man City beating Arsenal 5-0, Aston Villa 1-1, Brighton of course losing, that's 2-0. That's Newcastle 2-2 as well as Norwich. And the big one, Liverpool played to a 1-1 draw with Man. That's Chelsea. Man United beating Wolves there with a controversial goal by Mason Greenwood. And now we'll show you the table as well. As you can see, going into the international break, Tottenham Hotspurs beginning this season firing on all cylinders and all guns blazing. They are at the top of the table, as well as Manchester United, third, and Premier League champions Man City, favorites already. They are in 7th position, but only 2 points separate them between them and the top half of the table. It is quite a sad scenario for Arsenal fans there, finding themselves lingering at the bottom half of the table with no goals, no points, and no victory to show for at the moment. From me, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, it has been a privilege having you all on the show. Please don't forget to catch us again live. That's on Thursday for another show. Same time, same place. Ciao.